that finally my sister's crazy stories began to make some sense. Because I'd heard them all before, but the next day I called Dawn first to apologize for not believing her when she first told me about being in the military. I asked her to again repeat what happened to her and told her that I would believe her this time. Enter Operation Mockingbird. When my sister Dawn joined the Army, she was on a base where enlistees became Hollywood stars. She repeated that experience where a surprising number ended up being movie stars. She gave me a long list, and it would surprise you who they are, or maybe not. Talents were showcased, lots of parties went on constantly, and she noted that drugs were everywhere present on the military base and literally free for the asking. She told me how she was asked to meet with a man across the street from the military base. When she was there, she saw Crystal Gale, sister of Loretta Lynn, in white military garb outside the door, who saluted to the man she was to meet. This coincided with Kathy O'Brien's story exactly about Loretta Lynn, who was Crystal Gale's sister. So now I was beginning to get it. It was a short meeting with this man. When inside his office, he asked her if she could keep a secret. She said yes. He said, well, we'll see. She was asked to report back to him and bring her guitar with her in 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, she was sitting back in the same chair in front of him. He said, well, we found out that you can keep a secret. He then began to read something like a dossier that encapsulated her entire life story on a few pages. She asked him how and why he knew so much about her, and he matter-of-factly answered, your dad sold you to us. She was shocked and grabbed the pages he was reading, and what spilled on the floor were dossiers with pictures of each of her brothers and sisters, including me. Of note, these were military dossiers. Funny thing, I don't remember joining the military. So why did they have a military dossier on me? April said we had been heavily used and deserved back pay for our childhood. So back to Dawn. After helping this military entertainment official pick the dossiers up off the floor, he then asked her if she would mule drugs on cruise ships for God and country if they gave her the opportunity to play her guitar and be a star on the cruise ship. She said no way in hell and threw her guitar right at him.
The CIA running drugs, huh? The CIA has been accused of running drugs to fund black budget projects for a long time. But country music stars? Now that's interesting. I haven't heard that before. Speaking of country music stars, Morgan Wallen recently was convicted of throwing a chair off a bar in Nashville. A chair off the roof of a 6-story bar? How rich are you? You can afford to go to a 6-story bar? Is it like a Bruce Lee movie where you have to fight your way up through level tequila, level bourbon, level vodka, all the way up to the 6th floor? You know who you have to fight on the 6th floor? Tribal chief. It's known as the Windex floor. Yeah, you have to work your way up. I don't know, it's kind of seeming like Morgan Wallen might be a rock and roll guy at heart. Okay, here's the story about country music star Morgan Wallen throwing the chair off the 6-story roof, huh? Guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts of reckless endangerment, throwing the chair from a rooftop. They said witnesses told officers they saw him pick up a chair and throw it off the roof and laugh about it. He just went up several notches in my book. Musicians in general, military bases, and the intel community of the CIA. Well, there have been stories about this going back a long time. Even the Beatles, the Tavistock Institute. Have you ever heard of that? Another time, Warren, a guy named Warren Haynes. He co-wrote a song. He's written lots and lots of songs. One of the songs that he was made popular by Garth Brooks. So Warren Haynes, who's now 63 years old, he had an album come out last year, 2023, and there's a song on that album The song is called Made My Peace. These are some interesting lyrics. Speaking about Warren Haynes, 1989, the Allman Brothers Band decided to reunite, and Betts recruited this Haynes. Warren Haynes, he's managed by his wife. And I mean, that's the way things go for some men, right? Some men are managed by their wives. Other men sometimes give permission for their wives to leave the kitchen, which is how it should be. Because I need cookies. You stay in the kitchen until there are cookies. And then, when I give you permission, maybe you're allowed out for a short period of time, depending on the quality of those cookies. The Haynes' own record label is called Evil Teen Records. Interesting. Now let's take a look at the album that Warren Haynes released in last year, 2023. And this particular song here called Made My Peace. Now, of course, I can't play the song. I don't want to hit any copyright strikes, but he says here, into verse 1, there's no place to hide when the day finally comes. A reckoning waits for us all. I watched them all die as they struggled with honor, defending their anger as if it were truth, lusting for fame as they fell through the air. But nobody's there when you fall. The bridge here, I squandered my love just to lay down in darkness. Sold my soul for wine and a song. Traded my gold for a morning of glory. Now I know my time ain't long. Listen to me, my tale's a tragic one. Come feast your eyes on the damage I've done. But it's not too late to reap what you sow, 'cause nobody's there when you fall. The very last chorus, made my peace, I've made my peace. Kind of a dark, sad song, huh? Weird. Maybe there's something to it. Look at this. And now this is off an earlier album of Warren Haynes's. But we have the eye. Is that the all-seeing eye? The eye of Horus? Don't know. But coupled that with Saturn and a cube, a rotating cube at the bottom. That seems like occult stuff to me. Coincidence? I wasn't able to find much on his wife, Stephanie Scamardo. Wasn't able to find anything that looked particularly interesting from an occult point of view. But look at this. Warren Haynes with Danny Lewis. Check out that graphic. Another eyeball. Reminds me of the back of a dollar bill. People in the occult, not saying Warren Haynes is or isn't, people in the occult love this eyeball stuff. They can't help themselves. Weirdos. You guys in your lucid fairyism. Some of you? Yeah, that's gonna go well. Thought through your choices, did you? Now what about this? The CIA using music to torture people. Country music is included in that. Big surprise. Now, I don't know personally if country music is the best option for torturing people. Imagine being stuck in a small room, very bright room, very bright lights. But imagine having Britney Spears. There's not enough room to lay down. There's nowhere to sit except maybe on your butt in a little bright room, and you have Britney Spears songs looped. What could be worse than that? Perhaps listening to tirades by Whoopi Goldberg?
Hold on, sir.
What's
I have to stop you with the camera, because I can see you. So do me a favor, don't pull it out again.